We're back to give you the legal edge. President Trump wants Amy Coney Barrett to fill the vacant seat on the U.S. Supreme Court. So this evening, attorney Bryan Waldman explains how federal judges and U.S. Supreme Court justices are selected.
Hey, Bryan, so let's talk about how the process works for filling federal court vacancies, including U.S. Supreme Court vacancies.
Sure. So federal court vacancies are defined by Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution, which very simply says that the president gets to appoint a nominee to fill any vacancy with the advice and consent of the Senate. What exactly is advice and consent changes over time, but there are some kind of common things that happen. For example, there's something called blue slips that are filled out by home state senators. There's a detailed questionnaire that the nominee has to fill out for senators to read. There's individual meetings with senators. There's a vote and a public hearing in the Senate Judiciary Committee. And then if there's a majority vote in the Judiciary Committee, there's a full vote in the Senate. And even if there's not a majority vote, if it's a Supreme Court candidate, it goes to the full Senate, even if not a majority vote in the subcommittee or the Judiciary Committee. And then if there's a majority vote in the Senate, the nomination is confirmed.
Now, you did mention that some of the rules change as far as like advice and consent. Can you give us some examples?
There used to be filibusters commonly when there were judicial nominations. And the Democrats, when they controlled the Senate, did away with the filibuster for all federal judicial seats, with the exception of U.S. Supreme Court seats. And then just very recently, when Republicans controlled the Senate, they did away or changed the rules so that now even for U.S. Supreme Court vacancies, filibusters are not allowed.
Okay. And I think most people would agree that, depending on the party in power, rules are changed to kind of encourage and help the president's nominee move forward. But why is there so much outrage this time around?
Well, I think the outrage just becomes with the contrast between the last two nominations. So, or not necessarily the last two, but two recent ones, where you had Justice Scalia die roughly 11 months before the last presidential election. President Obama appointed Merrick Garland to that vacancy when there was still almost a full year before the election. And Senate Republicans said, we're not going to hold a vote because it wouldn't be fair. And it would be against the rules, or it would be against the practice of the Senate. Now, with just roughly 1.5 months before the election when Justice Ginsburg dies, and roughly a month before the election when the nomination occurs, those same exact senators are saying there is nothing that prevents it. We're moving forward. The rules allow it. And so it's really the extent of the hypocrisy that has people outraged.